Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua. Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, everybody listening? What's good, Chris? And I love Protect Me Shogomaru.
What? Well, all right. Oh, well, I actually read that. It's fine. It's like a little kids manga. Honestly, it's not meant for us. But anyway,
Thanks for letting me know.
Also joining us on Discord is the disembodied voice of Edgelord Big News Brian.
Yo, what's up, nerds?
Oh my God, he's returned.
Yes, after his long hiatus.
Yeah, he's graced us with his presence.
Wasn't it just 1 week?
It feels like forever whenever you leave us, Brian. It feels like a real.
Homie took a multi-episode NGF.
Yeah, what's that mean? What's an NGF?
Not giving a fuck.
Whoa.
No, that's bullshit. Stop.
Yo, Brian, you've changed. You really gotten all Hollywood now. I have to renegotiate your contract in order to get here.
Yeah, you can't hold Big News Brian forever if you're paying the big bucks.
Yeah, well, whatever. We got a big old show this week, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD_Cole_37 on Instagram. And at NY Chillin' with an EN, not an ING. And that's on Twitter.
Ooh, yeah. Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me on twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Oh, yeah. Also, you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a really good Chapter of the Week poll every week where you guys get to decide what your favorite Chapter of the Week was, and we reveal it on the show. So come on by on our Twitter and participate in the poll. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about on the show. Or you can comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full version of the podcast or the little breakouts that we edit out and put up every week. And while you're at it, why don't you subscribe? Why don't you do that? That'll be super sweet of you.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the podcast with your friends. And if you prefer audio versions, we are pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen, we are on there. And I think that's it. I think that's all for plugs. Let's get into the show proper. One Piece. This is Juan. This is One Piece chapter 1032, Odin's Beloved Blade. Last we left off, lots of shit was happening. Big Mom is going berserk, doing her thing. There's a big fire thing going down. Drake and what's his face? Apu are all fighting, trying to get an alliance going. The numbers are now chasing Yamato. A lot of chaos is going on. We open this chapter with Apu trying to chase down Yamato and try to convince him to join the alliance real fast. And Drake is just subsequently chasing Apu. So, that's fun. The giant number known as Fuga is following Yamato, kind of like a happy puppy. He's just like, Fuga, Yamato shows familiarity. He seems to know the number pretty well.
Right, which doesn't put a hole in the theory that we talked about last time per se, but it kind of loses a lot of it.
You think?
I mean, they know each other already.
Well, they could know each other because she knows.
It's not that right. They still could know each other because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it could just be that
it could be a coincidence.
Kaido owns the numbers and she lives with Kaido because that's her dad.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair enough. I'm still subscribing to the theory.
Yeah, because that could still be the case.
I'm sticking to my and some other random One Piece theorists' guns.
One Piece.
Okay, so as Yamato is running, falling down from the sky and landing on Fuga are Robin and Brook being chased by the CP0 goons. They're just diving down like Mission Impossible style, hands completely like at their side. And right,
full pursuit.
Yeah, full pursuit. This guy's still, I don't know, I remember that like one of them has to hold up the mask, and I wonder if he's still doing that or he just pasted it on his face already.
Yeah, you know how it is. No, he holds it the whole time.
Yeah?
So he's fighting one hand. Yeah, everything he does is one-handed, essentially, which makes him epically strong.
Very cool. But in any case, Robin and Brook are getting ready to square up with the CP0 because they're not going to let up.
Cool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the little thing that what's his face created emerges, the fire beast that what's his face? Damn. There's so many characters in this arc that even I'm like blanking on names. But yeah, it comes down. It actually scorches the CP0 agents. They're like, ow! And it continues to fall down. This is where I thought that these CP0 guys are done after this, because the whole point of this thing is that it incinerates everything it touches.
Yeah, but they're durable, so.
Yeah, they are CP0, I suppose.
They'll probably just burn their clothes or something.
Yeah. It's like, my cool bowler hat.
Probably burn their good moods, too.
Yeah. I mean, they were already
as far
pretty...
as physical, actual, real damage goes, probably not much.
Light work.
You know, CP0.
Yeah.
One-handed fighter.
Mm-hmm. Brooke seems to dismount off of the number along with Robin. And they take the opportunity, being that the CP0 is on the other side of the flames, to run away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the flames, CP0 is getting recollected after suffering a couple burns, and they hear some clicking in the distance. Apu has these snail cameras that he's just snapping constant pictures like a paparazzi, and he's just talking about how like Morgan would pay like a ton of money for the pictures he's taking of CP0 at Wano.
I like how he's taking the pictures and he's like, I thought he was like trying to kill him real quick.
No,
but he was just taking pictures. That was so funny.
So the CP0 guy is like, "Don't get over your head," and he does the deadly poke thing that CP Cypherpole agents do. And Apu seems to actually be down for the count. And I was like, "Whoa!" They took down Apu in one strike.
Man, no. Oh snap!
Oh damn! But yeah, the CP0 guy turns his attention to Drake, and he's like, "Do you think we don't know who you are?" And then X-Drake is like, "Well, why don't you start coming up with excuses then?" And he goes, "Inconvenient truths are meant to be erased." He comes in with the poke, but then Apu catches him fucking slipping with a big boom explosion from the floor.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It was pretty damn cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, let's go, Apu. Cool moment.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't get knocked out just like that. He's supposed to be a really strong...
Yeah, he's a supernova. But yeah, I was actually like pretty excited. I was like, damn, good move. This guy falls back because he just got exploded in his face. And it turns out Apu blocked most of the attack, it seems, using armament hockey. He and X-Drake bicker for a second, and then they decide on forming a temporary alliance to take down these CP0 goons, and their battle starts to begin. Not the pair I expected to take down the CP0 folks, but pretty cool nonetheless. I'm glad that even like the Supernova captains are getting a little bit of an individual battle.
Yeah, man. Especially X-Drake being a whole dinosaur.
Yeah, he went full dinosaur for this. He's not holding back.
No. Oh, he's not the only one going full dinosaur, though.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we cut back to the battle with Zoro and King. We see King's new, like a new technique from King, where he pulls his like crest back, his pterodactyl crest. He pulls it back so like long that even his jaw, you start to see it like stretch up too. And then he lets it go like a slingshot, and his whole head just crashes into the rock behind Zoro and like decimates basically the whole area. It's pretty impressive, I guess. It was a weird ass technique. Probably the weirdest technique I've ever seen, and that's saying something for One Piece, I feel.
Yeah.
So Zoro's just like, damn.
Headbutt.
Yeah, he's a damn, that's like a laser beam. How do you even block that? And then King says the pterodons of the ancient past hunted their prey just like this. And Zoro's like, damn, I had no idea.
This is the most One Piece fight I've ever seen in my life.
Listen, Oda's done this a few times with like the dinosaur thing. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie, it never gets old. I laugh every single time.
Just make them cool, Oda. Come on, stop making them do this stupid shit.
No, Queen being an actual snake instead of a brontosaurus.
Dude, that shit was so funny. The way that they just like the One Piece characters just believe that this is how shit used to be for dinosaurs. It's always so funny to me. Zoro also asks, I'm guessing the flame on your back is a pterodon feature as well. And King is like, it's not. And Zoro's actually surprised.
He didn't have to tell him that, but he did.
Yeah, he's just like, no.
You're wrong.
This is just me. This is me as a person. So Zoro tries to use his 3-sword style, black, rope, dragon, twister. And King puts his dukes up, and he just basically guards the whole thing. Nobody's been able to block this attack. This is like a pretty big attack for Zoro. And apparently it's because that not only does King have just like the pure durability that all of these like ancient Zoan types or mythical Zoan types have.
Generally have.
Yeah, he seems to have his own level of intrinsic durability within himself. Unique to his race, I imagine, of the Lunarians specifically, if that's to be believed. But he just comes down from his pterodon form, and he goes, fine, I'll give you a sword fight. He pulls out his giant sword and starts sword fighting with Zoro. Zoro's just trying to figure out how to even fight this guy, because everything he does is just a pretty good answer to whatever Zoro is able to do. King even knocks him back for like a few miles through some rocks, and he lands on the ground. And as Zoro's just like lying there, he starts to hear a certain sound, the sound of a shamisen. And at that point, that's when the
what is that?
It's an instrument.
It's a Japanese instrument.
Yes, the instrument we'll see momentarily. And upon hearing this, the Enma sword starts to hiss, and the next page, all you see is Zoro going ah, as the Enma is sucking all of the haki out of Zoro's arm.
This happened once before.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, Enma is, and we cut over to Orochi, who's just chilling still. He's still like hiding out. And he also hears the shamisen, which indicates that it's probably his observation haki that's like allowing him to hear the shamisen himself.
Or it could also be Enma highlighting it for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's possible. Enma seems to have his mind of its own, and its own version, like source of haki to it. So that's very well possible. But anyway, Orochi hears the shamisen as well. But the reason being, he's actually like right the next room over from it. He opens the door, and who's there but the Komurasaki Hiyori. She's Komurasaki. And she's there. She's the one playing the shamisen. And Orochi is actually super stoked to see her, because this is like a way back in Wano detail, but Denjiro basically faked her death to a degree to Orochi. So he thought she was dead the entire time, but she was just in the background with Zoro the whole time. And Orochi's just like, oh my god, I'm so glad to see you. Have I died or gone to heaven? I cannot forget you. And Hiyori says, neither can I, my lord. I am always by your side. And that's pretty much where the chapter ends, with Orochi just being super stoked that Hiyori's alive at the moment. Kind of a weird ending, I guess. To an otherwise pretty stellar chapter. I had a great time reading this. I wonder. I think there's obviously connection, being that Hiyori is Odin's daughter. That the Enma sword is responding directly to the Shamisen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a fun one. King's ability is just so fucking goofy and fun as usual. The action has been pretty fun.
He looks really cool too. His style reminds me of Katakuri, but he looks different enough.
Yeah, he reminds me of like what's his face from Dressrosa, the guy who like could pop and stuff. Like that was his ability. He popped things. I think it started with Gallius, I think his name is. Why am I forgetting One Piece characters? I'm a disgrace of a One Piece fan. But yeah, they have like a kind of a similar get up. But anyway, I don't really have a whole ton to say about this chapter. It was just a ton of action. Do you guys have any thoughts?
These larger than life characters from One Piece. I think it's so awesome. I said I really enjoy like the larger than life characters.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There are actually a couple of theories going around on what might happen with Zoro.
Ooh.
So there are two routes that this could go. Some people theorize that. Yeah, there are theories that Enma was never Zoro's sword, and it probably will never be Zoro's sword, and he'll have to give it up, much like Sanji gave up his raid suit. The second theory is that Zoro will find a way to kind of dispel Odin's will from that sword and make it his own that way.
Wow.
So those are the two theories. It's either Zoro gives up Enma, or he makes it his own. Because right now the sword is clearly not his sword.
Yeah.
Odin being in that sword is not going to be compatible with him using it going forward, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because right now it seems like it's linked to his daughter.
Yeah.
Because it only reacted that way when it heard her shamisen or whatever. Or felt her presence to an extent.
Yeah. I would say it would be the latter. I think Zoro has like had that moments before where when he first got like one of the swords in Rogue Town, he had to like kind of learn how to use that one as well, because one of them was like particularly strong-willed of its own. So there's been a history of Zoro needing to conquer certain swords in the past. So I think that's more the arc that's gonna happen now. But it could very well go the first way. But my money is on maybe he learns how to kind of like dominate the sword and become the master of the Odin sword. I think like at some point that Odin, like King's gonna try to do something, but that level of hockey that's within the sword right now is just gonna like slash at King, and it's gonna cut him pretty bad. That's where I think that's going, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do in this regard. Maybe it will just be linked to Hiyori.
Those are like, I don't know where they're.
Yeah. But in any case, I don't really know where the next chapter goes from here. It's very fun though to imagine.
I'm hoping we get a very long flashback about Homer Masaki.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ton of her. We've seen like a little bit of her past in like through Kawamatsu, because he's the one who raised her after the Odin castle fell. So maybe there will be a little bit more regarding Hiyori.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys ready to move onward?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, Brian.
This is My Hero Academia, chapter 334, Parting Gift. Last we left off, Shigaraki for all for one is what we
Shigaraki one.
Basically managed to absorb the quirk of Star and Stripe, but it managed to before she went down, Star and Stripe basically made her a rule on her own quirk that stated that Star and Stripe will not live within a vessel that has more than one quirk, because it will always revolt against the other quirks. And it's just been tearing Shigaraki for one apart inside for the last 5 minutes, and he is stressed hardcore. He is not having a great time about it. He's trying to get away, trying to find somebody to pawn the new order off to before all of his quirks are destroyed from the inside. And that's where this chapter starts off, as he's flying away and thinking like, oh, damn it, no matter what I do, I can't escape All Might. He is constantly haunted by that. And he just, like, I guess, breaks the sound barrier and escapes the jet fighters that were accompanying Star Stripe. And one of her buddies is like, Star and Stripe, of course you surpassed him. You've always been the greatest hero. Very sad.
Very sad.
But at the same time, they're probably like, shit, we don't get to die today. Because the whole time she was like, prepare to die, boys.
Yeah, I'll bring your remains to your family. Don't worry about it.
And they're like, all right. Okay. Meanwhile, we cut over to this kid named Kashiko Kashi, who is a convicted robber and murderer who was one of the people who escaped the Tartarus, or one of the prisons, earlier when Shigaraki for one broke them out. And he's just like lambasting the other villains, is like, who would escape prison and just start fucking shit up in the city? I moved far away from the city so I can get a second shot at life. And unfortunately for him, Shigaraki just breaks through, looking not great right now. And he looks over at this Kashiko kid and he's like, Miss Star's likely assigned a rule to her quirk that prevents it from residing amongst other quirk. In that case, I'll steal this bystander's quirk, and once he's quirkless, I can grant him new order and preserve it. And man, right at that moment, Star and Stripe from within Shigaraki for one is just like, nice try, idiot.
Negative.
Absolutely not.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And it turns out that thanks to the other quirks that live within Shigaraki for one and were fighting back apparently against New Order, at some point, like, they all managed to destroy New Order from the inside. So now he just doesn't have that quirk anymore and he can't pass it onward. But in her passing, in her final words, she basically just tells him, as long as people stand up to save each other, someone will inherit that will of heroism. And make no mistake, they will strike you down. All for one is not impressed. He's just like, give it a rest. The winner is the one who lives longest, so take a hike, dead lady.
He would say that.
Yeah, disrespectful. He's so mad. You could see like the creases of his eyes actually forming underneath like his brow, just shriveling up. He's putting on a brave face, but he's pissed off. Meanwhile, in the depths of All for One and Shigaraki's husk, I guess, there is the childlike visage of Shigaraki, thinking about what Star and Stripe says he's just thinking some hero, Midoriya. So
very creepy.
Yeah, very sad. He's calling out to Midoriya because he is pretty much taken over at this point. After all this hubbub subsides, we get a little bit of narration about how after this whole thing happened, the hunt for Shigaraki resumed immediately. But unfortunately, he disappeared without a trace. The other heroes from across the world have been prevented from leaving and aiding Japan because Star and Stripe got killed, so they're not prepared to lose their best heroes defending another nation. So they would rather their people would stay there and protect them than die in Japan, apparently. But the jet fighter pilot guy is actually talking to All Might and the other police members about what happened, and he says Star's death wasn't in vain. Each X-66 we rode on, which is the jets that they were riding on, holds data from the battle. They were each recording biosignatures and analyzing every quirk during the fight. Hopefully that data will provide a lead. So
they were 100% financed by tax done.
Yes.
That's the rocket.
There we go again, man. Saving the world with our tax dollars. America, fuck yeah! Anyway, the next day, which is basically 2 days after Midoriya returned to UA, All Might announces that originally the tomorrow from the present, I guess, is when Shigaraki would have had a perfect body, but now he'll just be out of commission thanks to Star and Stripe's efforts. So now they'll use this time to their advantage and take down Shigaraki and All for One. This was a short chapter, 16 pages. Was the last one short as well?
It felt longer than that.
Right. I mean, there was a lot of good detail. I feel like this was, in terms of exposition and all that stuff and events happening, this was a pretty well-paced chapter, I would say.
I'm confused about something, though. So it's over for the quirk?
Which
the
quirk?
New Order quirk?
Yeah, New Order is gone.
It's gone. He can't give it out.
Nope.
Or he can't.
He tried. He couldn't because it was already getting, destroyed by
So this was essentially a tool to buy some time and show why they won't have help from the rest of the room.
It also handicapped Shigaraki pretty hard and killed a couple quirks.
Yeah, it served to nerf Shigaraki for the most part, or All for One in general.
I like how she called him John Doe.
Yeah, because nobody knows All for One's real name.
Yeah, that was some petty shit. She was like, yeah, so, well, since I don't know who the fuck you are, I'm gonna call you John Doe.
Yeah.
Whoever I'm talking to is always gonna be a good guy here to smite you.
Yeah, basically.
I think this was a sick way to nerf Shigaraki.
I mean,
I thought it was cool.
They did really good with this shit. Hokoshi actually knocked it out the park.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had us thinking that Shigaraki was going to be fucking OP and unstoppable with this new fucking quirk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he perfectly subverted expectations by making it a drawback instead of an upgrade. That was really, really smart of him.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, we were kind of predicting stuff down the road that not Shigaraki, Horikoshi kind of threw us for a loop for. Some things we got right, though. We knew that Star Stripe was going to be dead, and in some way or another, she would not have her quirk by the end of it. But I do appreciate it, and it doesn't feel like a complete waste of time or a waste of story. And Star Stripe didn't really feel like a wasted character because she did have a major impact on the story in that now All for One doesn't have as many quirks and is significantly weaker than where he started. Even with Shigaraki's kind of perfect body form, he'll probably be downgraded to a certain extent. And the scales are a little more even at this point. Because Midoriya right now would probably have zero chance against All for One if he had completely taken over his body. So now, there's a little bit of a glimmer of hope. And it's not entirely hopeless for him either, because it's cool that like now he can like actually chase certain powers that he needs, and he's basically starting from the midpoint, I guess. Like he's not all the way in square one, but he's got to take stock and make more preparations, and he knows that he can't exactly just go all out like he planned. This might take a little longer now as a result. But yeah.
Also, what this little mini arc also accomplished is that thing that Horikoshi's been doing for a while now, and it's like a constant shift in power, you know? Like during that battle arc against Shigaraki and everybody, it was always like, holy shit, this is going to be really bad for the heroes, and then the next chapter they'll swing back and turn it around. It's just a constant like back and forth. And Horikoshi, I think he's starting to perfect that a little bit. Like during that last arc, it was a little it was very how do I say, it wasn't as effective as this one, just because the scale is a lot smaller and the battle is a lot more straightforward. So he was able to do that slap back and forth thing that he does all the time in a really, really good way. It started off a little weak just because we didn't really know Stars and Stripes as a character. Like when he first introduced her, I just thought she was just some fucking American asshole, you know? And as the chapters went on, you started to develop like an understanding for the character, and you actually, I don't know about you guys, but I actually ended up enjoying her by the end of it. And it's a shame that she got taken away before she could have like done more. But that was the point of that confrontation, is that if she met with Deku, it would have been lights out. This shit would have been over on Japan.
Yeah.
So I think this chapter, these chapters were fucking sick, and I hope he does more with that. I feel like he could do more with that.
Yeah. No, it was a good little condensed arc. I mean, you know, it's really funny because like over the past few weeks, you could see me and Josh like growing on it, you know, like we were both like, well, this is actually pretty good. And we started off just like you, Brian. We were like, start straight. It's America. Fuck yeah! But it was a lot of fun. Josh, you had a question for us earlier today. Would you care to ask it?
Oh, how many months left of My Hero Academia?
Yeah, I mean, I think I hinted at this.
Thinking like between 10 and 18 months.
Whoa, that was a lot more generous than what you said during the before the pod.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh man, see, I'm sneezing because I'm changing up in my body. But I think they can stretch fights and make certain situations that happen in like 2 days last almost an entire year in real life. So, I mean, One Piece does it all the time. Another series does. So, My Hero can too, but I don't think it's going to exceed longer than like 2 years. I'm putting a hard deadline on it. No longer than 2 years.
I would say 2 years is a fair estimate. I think it'll probably be around there too, because I mentioned this a little earlier, but like just like I said, Shigaraki is All For One is now kind of like in the midpoint. He's lost a lot of quirks, and I know that he'll be like, I need a bunch more quirks before I can actually start to do shit. So there's gonna be
probably go on a hunt.
Yeah, there'll probably be like kind of a hunt for quirks and a little bit of time. We have like a week now, so there'll probably be. I would love it if there was a little training arc for this 1 week instead of just blitzing after Shigaraki. Just a little rest in the action. Honestly, I think that's what the story really kind of needs. Is just
you know what I think is going to happen the next arc?
What?
So the next arc is probably going to be All For One going after some of the retired heroes' quirks. Some of the weakened and retired. Like the Power Fist dude. Or Hammer Fist, whatever his name is.
Death
they could go after him, they could go after Mirako, they could go after even what's his name? Shit, how do I forget his name? He's one of my favorite characters. The teacher?
Oh, Aizawa?
Yeah, Aizawa. They could just start targeting heroes that aren't fully recovered from the battle and try to steal their quirks
Yeah, I could see that.
in retaliation.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But I agree with that. I don't know. It feels weird because like I feel like all of those heroes would be heavily guarded, so I think it would think better of that. But there would definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if there would be like just an absolute hunt for quirks arc where they're trying to protect people. But yeah, those are my thoughts on My Hero Academia this week. Do you guys have any closing arguments?
I think Brian's really onto something because Midoriya, came up taking a whole bunch of notes and analyzing a lot of these heroes. So it'd be kind of fucked up and crazy if like All-For-One was to take a lot of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But it would also make sense for Midoriya to know how to counter them, to studying them for so long.
Yeah. But very cool chapter. I think it's time for us to move on, yeah?
Yeah.
Then let's go. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu
Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 166, Tokyo #1 Colony, part 6. Last we left off, Higuruma started a new trial for Itadori after he demanded a retrial, and they charged him with the slaughter of a bunch of people in Shibuya that was actually orchestrated by Sukuna at the time. And Itadori, with his guilty ass conscience, he pled guilty, and Judge Man, the cursed spirit, I guess, within his domain, is now about to follow up that sentence.
Judge Lady.
Judge Lady? What?
Yeah.
It's a
Judge Lady.
His name is Judge Man.
It's a woman.
Okay.
Lady Justice.
Yeah, but this is Judge Man.
That's
distinct.
lipstick.
That's fair. I mean, men can't wear lipstick, right, Josh?
No, they cannot. Unless they want to be girl. All right, ignorance is over.
Yeah.
And it looks really fucking scary. It probably is a man.
Yeah. This chapter starts off with a little flashback of Higuruma being asked if he wants to be a judge, and that's where we cut back to the present as Judge Man is going crazy, just like guilty, confiscation, death penalty. It's
that mega Roma.
He's fucking guilty. Imagine a judge being this intense about a guilty verdict.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Somebody get your mans. What the fuck is going on?
I'll have what this judge is having. At that moment, the death penalty is called, and Higuruma's hammer turns into an executioner's sword. This is the harshest sentence that Judge Man can give out. Basically, first confiscation removes the ability to use a cursed technique and cursed energy in Itadori's case, and then Higuruma receives the executioner's sword. Without exception, anyone cut by the executioner's sword will die. So he doesn't really even have to like slash you hard with this thing. He just has to kind of like poke you.
He could just like give you a little paper cut.
Yeah, and you're dead.
And you die.
This is a broken ass ability because if you are found guilty, you have no means of really fighting back. The only
unless
way,
you're superhuman.
Yeah, the only way you can if you're like a cursed womb child, like Itadori, but Megumi would not survive.
No, he would have lost.
Yeah.
For sure, absolutely, without a question.
Yeah. Inside of Higuruma's mind, he's just talking about how, like, to empathize with human emotions means to understand their weakness, the weakness of the victim, the weakness of the accused. Day after day after day, I was fed up with it. Ugly. And that's what I thought every time I tried to help another person. And that includes you, Itadori. And he starts like going off about how like all people are weak and ugly. There's nothing more to it. Even if you shine a light, all you see is more emptiness before you. Itadori doesn't really like hear this shit because he just starts running, and he throws a ton of fucking chairs from the audience out at Higuruma, causing him to have to evade and dodge. He sees the Itadori sweater just flying in the wind. Itadori is like masked himself behind the chairs like a ninja, and once Higuruma takes notice of him, he throws a scarf, blinding Higuruma, does a cool side swipe kick. But Higuruma like jumps. He like does a slick like phew. And at that point we cut back to the present, where the past, I mean, in Higuruma's flashback, where he declines his judge, like the question about whether he's going to be a judge, and the guy asks, "May I ask why?" And he thinks people are weak and ugly, so that's why he's incredibly biased, and he doesn't really think highly of human beings at that point. So, you know, as he's thinking on this, he starts to think about why Itadori confessed to the crime. Apparently, he knows the information Judge Man submits as evidence is shared with the sorcerer before opening, so he kind of knew exactly what was in the envelope. I thought, didn't he mention that he wouldn't know what was inside? Or unless it was like right before he opens it, he gets told what it is.
I definitely don't remember.
Yeah. But in any case, the evidence that was submitted in the charge was about the demon inside of him, about Sukuna. So Judge Man knows that Itadori didn't really kill everyone. So he's just like, why? And then he dispels his cursed technique and takes a fucking gut check by Itadori, sending him flying about, like, I don't know, 20 yards. It is not good. And Itadori is confused thereafter. And we hear a bunch of lawyer mumbo jumbo talking about how the absence of reason and or control signifies non-compos mentis. And he mentions that
Lawyer mumbo jumbo.
Lawyer mumbo jumbo. He says that Sukuna possessed your body. In other words, you couldn't control yourself, so you didn't abandon self-control voluntarily. You're innocent. And Itadori is like, it's still my fault because I'm too weak. And he asks Higuruma why he dispelled his technique. And Higuruma's like, I remember why I got into law in the first place. To help people, I guess. He's just like, to help weak people. And he's kind of lost sight of that. But Itadori kind of seems to have reminded him. He tells Itadori to pull up a seat and put his clothes back on. Because he is going to give Itadori the 100 points. Hell yeah. Let's go, Higuruma.
Let's go.
So at that moment, as Itadori is putting on his hoodie, Higuruma asks him, have you ever killed anyone of your own will? And Itadori is like, yes. Higuruma goes, I see. Didn't it feel awful? As we cut back to what seems to be that one court case where he summoned the Judge Man in the first place. And he sees he's laying before the bashed skulls of, I guess, the lawyer and the judge that was presiding the case. And that's where the chapter ends. Wow. I mean, I called it, but I think this is pretty easy one to call. I'm not going to give myself too much credit. But I really like this arc, and I so love Higuruma. If we haven't made it abundantly clear, he was just like such a fun addition to the cast, and I hope he really sticks around. I hope nobody just tragically kills Higuruma right before.
Yo, if he gets killed off, I'm gonna have an attitude.
Yeah, because Jujutsu Kaisen is a series where you genuinely don't know. It really is one of those series where like people just drop, and you're like, "Fuck, I like that person." Nobara was like example number one. Nanami. So many people are gone. It's kind of wild. But yeah, this was also the audience really good chapter of the week.
Ooh.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
And I'll tell you what, it's this is actually probably the first time Jujutsu Kaisen's ever won the audience RGC poll. So good for y'all. Yeah,
This is a good chapter to give it to.
yeah, I would say so. But yeah, I had a great time with this. Do you guys have any thoughts of Jujutsu Kaisen?
I can't help but think how you were absolutely correct earlier that Megumi would have got demolished. That would have been him. He would have been the third body right there in that picture, off to the side.
Yeah.
With his demon dog dead, with X eyes and its tongue out.
This Megumi slander is crazy. I like Megumi.
Yeah.
I would like to think that Megumi would also confess to the crime if he felt he was guilty. So I would see this happening as well with him. I would like to think that Higuruma is going to meet a bunch of people who are like super cool, and he's going to be like, let's be a Jujutsu Kaisen squad. I would love that. You guys give me hope in humanity, which is pretty cool. Brian, do you have any thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen?
It kind of went the way I expected it would go, but still doesn't take away from the fact that it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen hasn't really disappointed me in a very, very, very long time. It's always a fun chapter, even though it's not always the best. You can always depend on a good time when you're reading Jujutsu Kaisen. Always.
Yeah, good consistency.
It's the most consistent. I feel like it's the most consistent manga in Shonen Jump right now.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm always very excited to read Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a very, very fun series. Love it. I've been collecting the manga volumes, and I think I've like caught up. It's officially made my bookshelf, which is a Hall of Famer series type in my mind. If I have to have the solid books in my house, then you've made it to my personal story Hall of Fame. But in any case, I think that's it for Jujutsu Kaisen. Short and sweet. Had a good time reading it. Let us proceed onward. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 314. Hold on. It was stuck on the last page for me. 314. The Mass. We open with Mario Leona. Huh?
By Jim Carrey?
Oh, no. Not The Mask. The Mass. Like church. Like, amen. But yeah, we open up with Mario Leona fighting the giant demon thing, which I forgot this was happening. TBH.
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
Yeah, it was this was like months ago. This is when like they first got to the Spade Kingdom. But yeah, she basically like one-shots this fucking monster. Pretty cool, I guess. It just falls to the ground, and then she lands in front of the Spade Kingdom wizards and is like, let's clean up the rest. Cool. Cool, I guess.
Yeah, pretty lit. Not gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, neither do I. So last we left off, the entirety of the Black Bulls have arrived to save Captain Yami in a big old friendship chapter, and now this chapter proceeds.
Yay!
Yay! With Lucifero talking through Morris, who's dead, I guess. He's
about to be.
Yeah.
He squeezes it wrings out the last of his magical energy.
Yeah.
Specialty.
Yeah, so I guess Morris gets one of these.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, I got to use the soundboard more. It's hard to keep cognizant of it. But in any case, Lucifero is just like, rah, ha, ha, thank you for your service, human. And he starts talking. He's using his forehead mouth. And he's just like, I've opened up the second level of hell, so now I can interfere with the... I can interfere with the low-level devils from the underworld, and now that it's open with the second level, I can combine these devils from the first two levels to make one giant monster that he can manifest, I guess. So this whole big thing is Lucifero in a giant monster form, I guess, until...
Oh, so it's not like just some creature he's puppeteering. That is him.
I guess he's in it, but like it's not him, you know, like because
Yeah.
you have to open the last door, so I guess he's just like inhabiting this thing so he could stall for time until his gate opens and he can come out. So big old giant monster thing.
They need to take Yami out of there, man, so that they should have stopped running.
Yeah, but everybody's being crushed by gravity magic because I guess the Lucifero can do that. The entirety of the Black Bulls use all of their magic to basically, I guess, change the matter of the Black Bull headquarters and to make it to a giant thing. Like basically use all of the brick and mortar around from the actual castle onto the Black Bull's headquarters to make an even gianter Black Bull's headquarter mech to the point where it can just like punch this thing in the mouth. And it was like, get lost already. Big 2-page spread of this giant headquarters mech punching the shit out of Lucifero. And that's where this chapter ends. It's a lot of 2-page spread, very art heavy. We basically explained.
They had teeth. They all got knocked out.
Yeah. This was also a shorter chapter, 16 pages. I mean, I guess this was cool. It feels like it's a lot of build-up and a lot of like big set pieces art-wise. So honestly, I respect the level of artwork particularly with the 2-page spread where all the demons are coming out. That's a lot of detail to take into account of and a lot of figures.
I mean, even in that picture with Yami, and it shows him almost suffocated in the sea of demons. It's crazy how many of them like he put like right above him.
Yeah,
like, right above that panel that close up to his face.
Yeah. As far as plot goes, like there is a significant movement, but nothing like super, not a ton to like really analyze. So it really is just like a work of mostly having the art carry for a chapter, which it does. Tabata has turned into quite the artist, honestly. I've said it before. I think his art is like drastically improved from where Black Clover started.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. I agree with that.
So very respectful. Had a good time with this chapter, but not a whole lot to really talk about. So with that being said, I suppose we can move onward, yeah? Let's go. Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck chapter 88. I also had this on the last page. 88, Swear by My Heart. Last we left off, Fuko had been dropping little touches of unluck onto Spring, and now her strategy for winning the Karuta game, the second of the 3 games that they've been playing this whole time, is in full effect. Over the Spring is like, unluck affects those who you love and them alone. So why does it working on me? I'm just an UMA.
Hey nigga, we done told you like 12 fucking times. I love you.
I love you, man.
I love you, man. Yeah, bro.
Come on, man.
I love you.
I'm not gonna stop loving you.
Got nothing but love for you, broski.
Yeah, and Spring can't believe it. He's just like, absolute drivel. I'll make it
no way.
I'll make that abundantly clear. My next turn. And then over the course of the game, Fuko has just been one-sidedly like causing unluck incidents to happen to Spring.
Yo, she started wild and you were right.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's like once he gets charged up, that's it. It's like hang. Unluck. L.
Yeah, it's not great. He's basically like, both beings shall be bound to negate each other so that the mortal world shall manage to keep going around. Yes, for those are the very things decreed by God. Those are the rules. And Fuko's like, if those are the rules, then why are you in so much pain? And
Fuko must have fell in love with Dak Prescott last Sunday.
Yeah, that INT was definitely like her touching him before he left onto the field.
That last one, right?
Yeah, he was just like, don't touch me anymore.
Because he threw 2.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Fuko, why did you have to love me? Why do you have to be so kind-hearted? It's really funny. So now they're down to the last card, and Spring is like, there it is, that's the last card, but you know what? No matter what happens to me, no matter what unluck befalls me, I will keep my legs moving. And Fugo's like, I see. That card is meant for you. No, it's meant to kill the UMA bound by God that you've become with a stroke of unluck. And as Billy starts to read the final card, they both start to run at it, and the reading on the card that says on a day in spring, those unbreakable teachings that I came to learn. Spring starts to have a flashback about how he wanted to play with the villagers way back in the day, and he's talking with the former Unbreakable about this. And he's like, I want to play with the humans, but everybody hates me. Everybody associates Spring with bad luck, it looks like, seeming as he's made a name for himself as the Blossom of Demon of Misfortune. So, he's not having a good time. And Unbreakable's like, here's what we're going to do. Right now, Ito is thrown out of whack because of the Tobaku. So I'm going to stop it with my Unbreakable. And this bloodless siege of the capital will mark the start of a new chapter of Japan. Your cherry blossoms will also be there at the heart of it. And everyone far and wide will fall in love with Spring. And at that moment, we cut back to the present as Fuko touches the card and wins the game, basically. At that point, tears just start streaming down from Spring's face. He's like, oh, oh, oh. Giant crying man.
It's actually really sad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's genuinely very upset. And he's just like, whoa.
And then, look at Fuko, because she understands exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I'm sorry. 'Twas God that took me over so that I would take you and then kill you. And then he, I guess, goes into his final form as God takes over him. And he's like, I shall not do it. I shall kill man no longer. And he begs Fuko to kill him. And so begins the grand finale as the chapter ends there. Wow.
RGC.
Whoa, RGC. Oh, jeez. My mouse is not working, but once it is, there you go.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, and this chapter was really good as far as subtleties within the art and the panels go. One was, I thought that was kind of funny, but I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought it was actually kind of deep. I mean, if you go all the way back to page 1, there's these two panels, right, sandwiched in between these larger ones of Andy and Billy, standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
On the one on the right side, you got Andy kind of just, looking... So, because they look exactly the same, but in one of them, Andy's looking at Billy, and in the next one, he just goes back to looking at Fuko. Now, this is right after this nigga just got zapped by a fucking bolt of lightning, and she won a card.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Billy was talking all that shit about, what's her true strength, and et cetera, blah, 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 blah. I thought it was a nice touch that instead of Andy, trying to be look at you now, I'm sure you respect her power, look at that. He didn't even say nothing, he just stood quiet.
Yeah.
So let's really kind of watch it for himself. I don't know, I thought that was cool. And in these last panels, man, when it was showing Spring Sorrow, how God was forcing him into this conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what I touched on it before about what maybe the bigger message of this series is going to be as far as what God represents. I think it's going to be. I can't even formulate thoughts, man. I think that ending is going to be way deeper than we think.
Oh yeah.
This was a mostly lighthearted series that I guess taught certain lessons through empathy or whatever, and trying hard in friendship, etc. But I mean, look what he was saying. Hold on. it was God that had taken me over, so that I would take you and then kill you. Oh God, I shall not do it. I shall kill man no longer. I mean, that's pretty heavy stuff. For a manga, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't. I don't. To me, it comes off more than just him speaking of this character in this series, but more like him feeling like he's forced to do something he wish he didn't have to because of this oppression, this ruler, whatever. My thoughts are kind of everywhere with this, but I can't wait to see how this series wraps up.
Yeah, I think.
Well, at least this part of it. We got it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the overall like message of the series is. But I'm very curious. God is obviously not going to be just like man in the sky with a beard type God. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what the fuck he's doing. Like what is this whole thing even about? But I have been enjoying Undead Unluck quite a bit so far. It is it's really grown quite a bit. It's grown, it's become like something more than when it started, which was just like a fun, creative battle manga, into probably a way deeper series than it has any right to be, honestly. But with that being said, that's all I got to say about Undead Unluck. Are y'all ready to move onward?
Yep.
Let's go. Boruto. This is Boruto chapter 64, Control. Last we left off, Code is squaring up with Boruto and Kawaki. They've been fighting for a while after Boruto managed to slip the sensory ninja and Naruto. And in the midst of the battle, Boruto has seemingly gone into his Otsutsuki form. And everybody's worried that Momoshiki is actually coming out to play this time. But it turns out at the start of this chapter, it's already confirmed that Boruto is still in control here. And he just jumps off into battle and starts battling Code. Code is like, whoa, I see, he's stronger. And he does the claw mark thing, putting, I guess, a studded Ferragamo on Boruto, warping through his shoulder. It's such a weird power. And warping out through a tree. It's a lot of action. There's this really cool moment where, like, Code manifests a claw through the Ferragamo on Boruto's shoulder and starts slashing the shadow clones that Boruto has created. But Boruto grabs onto it. He has the shadow clone also come in and grab onto the arm and just yank Code out of Boruto's shoulder. And the battle continues onward. It was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Code starts talking to Ada. Is like, what the fuck is happening? And Ada's like, I wonder if it's an effect of Amato's meds. I can't really tell what's going on inside Boruto's body, but he seems to be able to channel Momoshiki's power. And he's like, meds? I don't like it. Back with Naruto, he is just informing Ino to hone in on Boruto's chakra instead of Kawaki, because Boruto ran off. So if Boruto is going to find Kawaki, they're better off like tracing his chakra. He's got a couple shadow clones helping out with that shit. The dumb sensory ninja is like, oh, I'm sorry, Lord Seven. I swear I had my eyes on him. And Naruto's just like, what's done is done. So hurry up and search for Boruto. At that point, that's when Shikamaru comes in. And he's like, look, I've come here to help you out. I'm not going to let you go after Code alone. You're not the protagonist anymore, Naruto. You can die now. And Naruto's like, all right. Hinata comes out as well. It's like, Naruto, I want to go with you too. And Naruto's like, no, you stay here with Himawari and, keep her safe and all that stuff.
So what are you, dumb?
Yeah, this is a man's job. You can't come. Himawari is just like, you'll bring back Papa safely. You'll bring back Boruto and Kawaki, right? And Naruto's like, of course. Have you forgotten who your dad is? As he transforms into his Sage mode. And I'm like, yes, Sage mode. It's been a while.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
It's been a while since we've seen just the Sage mode. It's pretty cool.
Bro, Sage mode is beast enough, man.
No, I love Sage mode. I'm saying like it's been a while since we've only seen him in his Sage mode form. Without like the Nine-Tailed Fox form also merged with it. Meanwhile, back at the battle, Boruto tries to absorb the claw marks that Kawaki leaves behind, but he can't because it's close enough to, I guess, karma, but it's not really. Whatever. He can't do it. And basically, Boruto's like, whatever, let's just focus on taking him down because that'll solve everything, right?
I mean, karma can only absorb, chakra, not leather belts. Leather designer belts. You know what I'm saying?
It can't absorb Ferragamos. That's for sure. This is a good advertisement for Ferragamo, honestly.
Yeah. I'm kind of over giving them free shout outs.
Yeah, for sure. But it's the funniest way to explain what these things are. So he's like, wow, you've gotten really strong. You can't. He talks about how like no matter what the effect of the meds that Amato gave him, they can't actually get rid of Momoshiki. At some point, he's still gonna have to come to terms with the fact that he's an Otsutsuki now and beyond. So all that matters is that you can be fed from I can feed you to my cool chakra tree thing. So I don't care. So at that point, Code teleports behind Kawaki and takes him alive, and he's like, this is fun, Uzumaki Boruto. I'll see you soon. Boruto tries to run at him and save Kawaki, but Kawaki does a shadow clone jutsu, freeing up one of Code's hands as Boruto comes in with a Rasengan and forces Code to retreat, basically. So... yeah, pretty cool moment. Code is starting to lose his patience, and he's just like, I'm gonna just obey me, damn it. And Boruto's like, no.
He hasn't had to try this hard in a long time.
Yeah, he's very mad. He's like, you guys are harder than those goons that I solo doloed earlier. At that point, that's when Naruto hones in on Kawaki's chakra. Or Code's chakra, I don't know. Oh, Boruto's chakra, sorry. Boruto. Faster than all the sensory ninja. And basically he's like, I know where Boruto is. We're going to head over there now. And this is a cool panel, honestly, where like Boruto's standing on the edge of the building with the two shadow clones in the back doing the cool hand signal thing. I thought this was a cool panel.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
But in any case, Shikamaru and Naruto run off. Shikamaru is constantly like, just relax. Don't do anything crazy, Naruto. And Naruto's like, I know. He also explains that he can uphold the Sage form a lot longer than he used to be able to. So that's pretty cool.
For there being that much of a limit on it, but I guess it has been a long time.
Well, he got out of when he fought Pain. He exited the form like midway. I know that like it got off of him like midway through. He wasn't Sage form the whole time.
Oh, he lost it. Yeah, he was losing that fight. I remember.
Yeah, before Hinata came, like right before Hinata came in, that's when the Sage form dispelled. That's as much as I remember. But anyway, back to the battle with Kawaki and Code. They are basically exchanging blows left and right. It's pretty even up to this point. After Code manages to evade a vanishing Rasengan, he's just like, damn, this is a bit of a close call. I'll have to watch out for those vanishing Rasengans. So at that point, he's like, cheap tricks won't work on me. Boruto's like, all right, well, I guess we'll have to go all out. And then he just collapses to his knees, clutching his chest as he gets out of his karma form. And he seems to...
That's having a heart attack.
Yeah, he's...
That's going into cardiac.
Yeah, he is not having a great time right now, and that's where the chapter ends. I really like this chapter of Boruto. I thought the action was really fun, inventive,
Yeah.
very cool, I would say. Code's power, it's odd, but it is really cool the way he uses it and the way it's like emerging. You know, it's a unique way.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of points for being different.
Yeah. I can't imagine what's going to happen next in Boruto. Whether it's Kawaki that gets taken, or Boruto, or if neither of them get taken,
Or both.
or both. Yeah, who knows, man? I have no fucking idea. I think all I know is that this was a really good one. I had a great time.
Maybe Shikamaru will get taken.
Oh my god, no. No.
Oh, that guy looks pretty smart. Take him.
Are you
Fuck Kawaki.
Are you a genius? Want to come with me? Are you a lazy genius? Do you want to come with me and come with my evil plans?
Like
Shikamaru becomes an Otsutsuki.
I want that pack of cigarettes.
Hey, bro, you got a smoke? I got a pack right here of Marlboro Reds. No, but I don't have any more thoughts on Boruto. Do you guys have any closing arguments?
Closing arguments? I wouldn't say that.
Not arguments. I guess that was the wrong word.
Nah, but
Fun chapter.
yeah.
Huh?
Same.
Well, with that being said, let's move onward. Dragon Ball Super.
Time to go Super Saiyan God Destruction mode. No eyebrows.
No eyebrows. This is oh my god, this is Dragon Ball Super chapter 78, Gas's Wish. Holy shit, what a chapter. Oh my.
Man. This was almost RGC off the strength of like pure irony. Like this would have been the most ironic RGC ever. And I try not to give ironic RGCs because I wouldn't want to make ones I actually enjoy.
That's fair.
Not ones I'm being spiteful about.
Yeah, we got to keep the integrity of the RGCs, you know.
So I didn't give it to this, but oh shit.
It gets an honorary
I
one.
was not expecting this.
Okay, so let's get into it. The heaters are just flying around this planet looking for Dragon Balls and stuff. And they get word that Granola and Goku and Vegeta have stopped fighting because some old Namekian popped up and stopped the fighting. And Elec is like, oh god, and Monaido. I hate this fucking guy.
Okay, Monaido. Oh my god.
What does Gas say? Let's go kill them all.
Dude, to say that
no hesitation.
I actively laughed out loud when he's just because like it's not even the flow of conversation. He's like, oh my god, it's fucking Monaido. And then I just like the idea of Gas turning around. I was like, let's kill them all.
Yeah. Like, is that enough? Is that a good enough reason? Yes.
As his default response, it's just like, let's kill them all.
It's like a kid that wants to eat McDonald's. Like when you ask a kid, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" and they're just like, "McDonald's."
Let's go to McDonald's.
Nuggets. You know,
Murder.
Yeah. And they're like, "Good idea, Gas. Go kill them all."
This time they finally say, because the mad times he's like, "Oh, just let me at him, boss. Just let me at him. I can take the boss."
yeah.
All these times, and then he's like, "Yes, guys, go." He couldn't believe it.
It's like, well, really?
He was frozen in disbelief and said, "Look at his eyes in the next." Okay, when she says, "And we're off," and he says, "Get it done."
He's like,
Gas
whoa.
is like,
"You actually
Word?
letting me go?
"What?"
You never let me do this. You never let me slaughter our enemies." He's so stoked. It's so funny, man. Okay, so I guess they, before they go, Elec says that I'll see that your wish is fulfilled. And Gas is like, I'm fine just the way I am. He's like, don't be silly. This is the only way to surefire way to achieve our goals. All our plans rely on you. You know that? And Gas is like, yes, I know. So they fly away. Elec is like, yeah, time for me to make a wish. Meanwhile, back with Goku and Vegeta, Granola is like, what? Elec is the one who murdered my mom? Why did you fucking tell me? And he's like, I don't know. You gotta understand, it was the only way for us to survive. And Goku's just like, let's hear him out. Vegeta's like, well, did Bardock win? And he's like, yeah, that's how we survived. And Vegeta's like, whoa, Bardock was a low-class warrior. Was Gas just...
He was pretty lame.
Was Gas just weak? And he's like, no, just the opposite. Gas was very strong. And at that moment, they get interrupted by the sky darkening, and you know what time it is. The 2-star dragon appears and is like, you have collected the 2 Dragon Balls. State your wish. And I guess he makes his wish off screen, and he's like, the darkness is gone. What was that about? And then all of a sudden, Vegeta and Goku...
like Queen. Outside of the... I said the dragon looks like Queen outside of the Brontosaurus.
Yeah, he looks like Queen from the neck up, I guess.
When he launches himself out.
Yeah.
Big snake.
Big snake man.
They're so dumb.
Vegeta and Goku just suddenly sense some massive energy. He's like, what is this enormous power signature? And it arrives, and it turns out that the girl heater, I forget her name, and the big fat heater guy, I forget his name, arrive, and they're like, it's time to take out the trash. Presenting the actual strongest warrior in the universe. And guess who arrives but Gas, in a taller. He's like 7 feet tall now, it looks like. And he is slim. He's jacked. He's got a body to die for now, apparently.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a full person now.
He's a fully grown person now. And everybody's like, whoa, is that really Gas? And they're like, I feared as much. They must have used the Dragon Balls. And they're like, wait, there are Dragon Balls on this planet? And Granolla's like, yes, this is how I became the strongest in the universe. And,
Former strongest in the universe, actually.
I mean, pretty much. At that point, that's when...
Yeah, I cheated.
Okay, so Gas gets into it real fast. He does a cool finger beam thing, cuts the Granola's ship in half. He can apparently materialize weapons, and he I don't know what this weapon's called. A quadrant? Because a trident would be 3. A quadrant.
A 4-pronged spear.
Yeah, and he just chucks it at Granola, impaling him against Monito's house, upon the halved ship that they just broke. And the first thing Gas says is, I never liked you. You gotta love Gas and his bluntness. He's going full-blown hater on Granola.
You a bitch.
Yeah, you a bitch. I provided enough muscle for the heaters. You are not needed.
This is how at peace Gas is right now.
He's
finally able to...
He's Wolverine about to go surfing level at peace.
Oh, what an adamantium surf! Oh my god, what a trip. I can't believe we read that.
Yeah.
Can't believe that was put on fucking paper.
Oh, yeah.
And digitally copied and distributed to all of us.
I had a good time with it.
These guys, they do drugs. And they make these comics.
Well, that's the best way to do comics.
That's cool. That's what's up.
Yeah. Goku gets trapped with giant cube weights that he also materializes. And he's like, you must be that Saiyan's son. That would explain the familiar face. Does his father still live? And Vegeta's like, no. That whole generation.
Nah.
Everybody's dead. We're the only ones.
The Frieza actually smoked all of them.
And he's just like...
This guy doesn't even... He's like, oh. Okay.
I see. Bummer.
Anyway.
Anyway, axe. Makes a giant axe, and
he's at the trap in Goku.
He goes,
Yite in Goku within these blocks. Like, what?
Jeez.
I guess he's hurt from the previous battle, so he's like, it's hard for him to get out.
Yeah. And right before he's about to bring this axe down on Goku, he gets shot from behind by Granola, who I guess Monaido took off the 4-pronged steel spear and manages to blast him. And he's like, the title of the strongest belongs to me. So then Gas just materializes a mace and just beats the flying fuck out of Granola. And
says, he called cap on that. I did not like that.
And the girl heater is like, you idiot. Gas's wish came after yours, which makes him stronger. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. What?
It's true.
Yes, logically, I guess it tracks, but I can't believe that people are just going to start layering this wish one way.
No, I'm the strongest in the universe.
Now, in theory, somebody else could just be like, I'm the strongest in the universe now. And then Gas is no longer the strongest in the universe.
Yeah, that's exactly what could happen if they find the Dragon Balls and do that.
I don't know. Am I overreacting, or is that ridiculous?
No, see, that would end up being a quirk singularity because they're going to get so strong to the point that it ends the universe.
Yeah, I mean... that's
Monaido is gonna go find the Dragon Balls and become the strongest in the universe.
Yeah, I can't with this because it's just like the idea that like somebody could just wish to be the strongest kind of like
there's ramifications for it though.
Sure, because the only ramification is really that somebody else can come in and wish to be the strongest and then you're no longer the strongest.
No. The ramification is you also have to give up something.
Oh, you give up your life. Remember? Sure.
Oh, that's OD. He violated. You see how he... Wow. So this nigga wished for Gas to be strong so that his lifespan would get cut and not this nigga. That's fucked up, yo. I just put that together.
Is that what they said?
Think about it. No, but Elec probably made him stronger instead of himself because he didn't want his lifespan to get cut.
No, I would figure that he would have to cut the guy who gets the strength would have to give up the lifespan for it.
That's what I'm saying. Elec probably shaved
I see
him.
what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So he made Gas the strongest so he wouldn't have to take that L on his lifespan.
Yeah.
That's smart, I guess. What if like Gas only has like 2 days to live? Like you were supposed to live a week, and now you have 3 days left. You have 3.5 days left.
So yeah, you did a little too much in that fight.
Yeah.
All those constructs you made, all that extra shit, yeah. Burning hours.
Yeah. At that point, Monaido seems to vanish Gas's constructs, which I guess he can do. And Goku's like, whoa, thanks a bunch. And he also heals Goku to an extent. Meanwhile, Gas just continues to beat the brakes off of Granola. Meanwhile, we get a little flashback as to what happened, really. Granola, this whole time, like when he was a kid, he's just been training. And in the background, you see Elec and Gas looking so angry. Just like, I don't like you.
Here.
And he's like, so he's the bounty hunter who's been making waves. And Monaido basically works out a plea after revealing that he didn't tell Granola that Elec was the one who killed his families because he didn't want Granola to just go off as a child and seek revenge on Elec and get himself killed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, he's like, well, good. We'll keep your mouth shut because the second you blab, both of your lives are over. Both of y'all. And
both of these.
And that's when Granola is enlisted to be the bounty hunter for Elec. So there you go. There's your answer. And Monaido's like, I think I made the wrong choice back then. It would have been better to die than serve Elec. And Goku's like, nah, man, you did what you had to do to survive. Monito's just beating himself up. He's like, I don't even live up to being a Namekian. I can't even restore your energy.
Yeah, he's like real down on himself.
Yeah, and it's okay, buddy. You're old.
Yeah, right? Like, you're fucking Nathan, bro. I mean, thanks for even
trying.
having the courage to not run away.
Yeah.
Imagine not going to the Supreme Kami Guru before leaving Namek. What a loser.
Guru. No, they're like, canonically, there are just several Namekian communities across the stars, apparently. And this is just one of them that he was a part of. But in any case, Goku remembers that they still have a sensu bean. So he turns over to Vegeta. He's like, hey, do you have that sensu bean? And Vegeta's like, nah, I kind of got lost in the moment and tossed my armor away. And that's where my sensu bean was. Vegeta was like, oh, God damn it. So he tells Vegeta to go back and find the armor and get the sensu bean. And he'll let Vegeta finish off this battle. Which I was like, yeah, let Vegeta do something.
Like, hell yeah, that's Goku saying, nah, you gonna finish this.
Yeah, I'm into it. I was into it. And then Vegeta flies off. Goku's going to hold off Gas while he can. He turns out to be no match for him because, of course, Gas is the strongest warrior in the universe right now. And Goku's already pretty beaten and tired from the battle. Meanwhile, Vegeta returns with the sensu bean. He's about to eat it, but then he grips it in his hands and flies away. He finds Granola, who's lying on the ground, and he wakes him up. He's like, rise and shine, Granola, eat this. And he's like, what is it? He's like, it will restore your energy. Now eat it. And Granola's like, wait, you had that the whole time and you didn't eat it? He's like, no, I'm not a pussy, but you are. Take it.
Yeah, right. So, but you the type. So here.
Yeah, I'm not a little bitch like you, Granola. You take it. And he says, your revenge must be satisfied. No, so settle this grudge with your own strength. And that's where the chapter ends.
RGC.
Whoa, Brian's RGC.
Wow.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Pretty impressed.
Yeah, Vegeta's just too good, man. Vegeta, I just love Vegeta so much.
I will
He's
say,
justified now.
He just brings a good element to this story. Like, he just saves Dragon Ball Super in so many ways. Like, he could have easily just taken that shit and then be the hero of the story, right? But
would have been nice.
He put his pride aside. And that alone is like a pretty cool moment for him, because he could have easily done it. He could have been like, yep, I'm going to be Ultra Ego now. I'm going to come in and I'm going to fuck shit up. But he knew this wasn't his battle to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this was a very interesting moment for Vegeta. And I think the reason he hard carries Dragon Ball Super is because he's the only character that's still evolving. You know, he's the only character that really has, like, development to his character. Like, Goku's development is now kind of superficial and external with the forms that he's reaching, unless something changes, which I'm very open to. But Vegeta is...
No, I doubt it. I feel like Goku's character is always going to be the same, and it's up to Vegeta to carry the more complex parts of the story.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying I hope that's not the case. I mean, you know, because there's potential for Goku to grow. There's something about the philosophies of the Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct that shouts for development. You know what I mean? It's different sides of development that could be very interesting going forward. But Vegeta is always just changing and growing, and Goku's kind of reached his apex, in my opinion. Like, you know, like he peaked a long time ago. Like, it's kind of hard to... I mean, I don't even know if it's like hard to develop his character further, because they could, but I don't think Toriyama has any particular interest in doing so. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's almost not his story anymore. It's only his story by virtue of the fact that he kind of finishes every battle, but you know, he doesn't get like the hardcore. Yeah, he doesn't get the hardcore internal development that Vegeta gets. But
I mean, this is really cool for Vegeta because he was talking all that shit to Granola, and now he's telling him like, "Yo, I believe in you, and I believe in what I say. That you can fight, go hard, and push past your limits." That's what Vegeta's telling him right now. Like, you're gonna push past your limits because even though he's supposed to be stronger than you or whatever, automatically because of the wish.
Now it's like the real test.
Yeah, and Vegeta's like, I don't need no sensu bean. I'm gonna use my God mode again and beat myself up because I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Hopefully
think
he'll pull a mace out on me.
I think you really tapped into something there, Josh, where he may not be the world's strongest anymore, but Vegeta had that moment where with Ultra Ego, he became stronger than Granola at the time. So I guess he's like saying like, do what I did. You know, I took the hard way out and I became stronger for it. There is a bit of a reversal happening here with Gas taking the easy way out. And now Granola is going to have to learn the lesson that Vegeta did.
Yeah, the experience that Vegeta was talking about. Grow some hair on your chest, motherfucker. That's basically what Vegeta's saying.
Yeah, drop your nuts.
You know what vibe Vegeta's fake giving me though? Like if I want to be funny, like people are like, I grew up with mental disorders and stuff, and I'm successful and I work past it. So there's no excuse for you.
My entire conqueror alien race was destroyed, and look at me now. I married a rich woman, and now I'm a Saiyan alien god man.
He's looking at Vegeta like, bro, he wished to be the strongest after me. I don't think you understand how that works. But, you know, this is the Dragon Ball universe.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm all for it. Vegeta's always been my favorite character, and I think he's a lot of people's favorite character. So I don't think many people really mind.
Vegeta?
This just gave me more respect for Vegeta, honestly. It makes me want him to win more.
I mean, he's not going to win. He's not going to fight anymore. But
yeah, no, like maybe next arc.
I guess his spiritual successor in Granola will win this one, and I'm here for that. Unless Goku comes in at the very last moment and is like, "Don't worry, Granola, I got you now."
He's gonna kill Steel. He's coming in greedy as fuck. Steel is still at his KDA.
Yeah, he's gonna snipe him with a well-placed punch. It's like, I did it. That was me.
I'm the hero.
I'm the hero. I'm the protagonist. But yeah, interesting chapter of Dragon Ball Super nonetheless. I don't know if I mentioned this, but actually Jujutsu Kaisen was my RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Sorry it was late. I forgot to
I believe you did say RGC, and maybe you didn't give it the RGC, the drop.
Well,
I'm pretty sure you said it.
Well, there it is, a compensatory RGC if I missed it. I'm sorry to put it in Dragon Ball Super, but this was a very interesting one. I will say one last thing before we go. I don't know what annoys me about the idea of like Gas being like, now he's the strongest one. You know, something about that bugs me. I hope it doesn't become like a thing.
It's like, damn, because you was talking all that shit before. Oh, I don't know. I didn't need my power. Like, bro, yes, you did. You was gonna get washed.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you got all this power, and you whatever.
Now you're 7 feet tall, and you're not so like prideful now, are you? Now you're not like. He didn't know he was gonna get tall. That's the whole thing. That's why he's so at peace right now. He's like, oh, this is a cool bonus. I'm the strongest, and I'm the size of
I'm the
Giannis.
Strongest, and I'm the tallest.
You know, but. All right, those are all my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super. Fun chapter overall. Oh my god, did I just close the theme song? Hold on. Thank you guys so much for listening, and that has been our show.
Nice.
Professional.
Good save, Chris.
Professional.
Good save.
This is how I do it. Thank you guys so much for listening as always. A little bit of a longer episode, but you know what? It's Thanksgiving, baby. Lots to be grateful for. Giving you a little healthy episode there. Extra, I call this a second helping episode. You know? But in any case, let's wrap this one. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, Josh at jdcole_37, and on at nychillin on Twitter. Follow him there. Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. And also check out Brian's Twitch channel. Watch him play video games at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about on the show. Follow us at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram as well. For the really good chapter of the week poll, among other things. Check us out there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Please do like, share, follow, all the thingies, whatever they tell you to do on YouTube. Please do it. It would be super cool. Also subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts audibly. We are usually on those platforms, so check us out. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening. And happy Thanksgiving, New Jump citizens!
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
GG's.
Yeah, not Thanksgiving for what the pilgrims did, but Thanksgiving as far as eating with your family and spending time with them and having a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pilgrim bullshit.